And so you just heard what Prime Minister Modi had to say. Let's quickly get in some perspective on this from Siddhant Sibal, who's joining us live from New York at the moment. Siddhant, we just heard what Prime Minister Modi had to say with regards to the issue of terrorism emanating from Pakistan, or even the issue of Article 370 being scrapped in Kashmir. You know, important to talk about how India's agenda during this entire trip is way more diverse compared to a Pakistan who's already declared it as Mission Kashmir. Because let's not forget, Prime Minister Modi referred to the entire issue in a very intelligent manner and left it for the audience to decide for themselves. All right, so we're trying to get Siddhant back on air since there's been some technical glitch, but going by what Prime Minister Modi had to share with the audience at the Howdy Modi event, just heard how smartly the Indian Prime Minister has addressed the issue of terrorism and the scrapping of Article 370. He's of course called out on Pakistan, which repeatedly has been sheltering terrorism and terrorists, providing a safe haven to terrorists. It was rather symbolic when the Indian Prime Minister shared the same stage with the American president, also making a point over there that the United States stands with India when it comes to the issue of terrorism. Now, the US President, meanwhile, did not hold back from lauding Prime Minister Modi's exceptional work for India. This was another important issue that surfaced during the event, calling Prime Minister Modi America's most devoted and loyal friend. President Donald Trump assured that the United States was committed to fighting radical Islamic terrorism, emphasizing on the importance of border security.
Today we honor all of the brave American and Indian military service members who work together to safeguard our freedom. We stand proudly in defense of liberty, and we are committed to protecting innocent civilians from the threat of radical Islamic terrorism.
Reaffirming that the relationship between India and the United States is now stronger than ever before, Trump also said that India can never have a better friend than him in the White House.
This day, I'm happy to report that the relationship between the United States and India is stronger than ever before. The ties between our two nations are grounded in our common values and our shared commitment to democracy. We are free nations with great faith and a fierce devotion to our national independence. We are governed by the rule of law, guided by commitment to justice, and strengthened by our love of liberty. Our two national constitutions both begin with the same three beautiful words: we the people. If we were elected, India would have a true and great friend in the White House, and I can tell you, you have never had a better friend as president than President Donald Trump. That I can tell you.
All right, let's quickly get in some perspective from Siddhant, who's joining us live at this moment from New York. Siddhant, we just heard what President Donald Trump had to say. He's, of course, declared Prime Minister Modi as a friend, that the only friend that he has in the White House. Do we finally see this the stance now that President Donald Trump is endorsing? Will this be able to call out the bluff that Pakistan has been pulling out, especially when it comes to the issue of terrorism?
Well, Akanksha, Pakistan's Mission Kashmir has already failed with the Howdy Modi event, with both the Indian Prime Minister and the President of the United States lashing out at Islamabad through various ways, especially with the US President saying that India has a right to protect its borders. But largely, if you talk about Pakistan, Pakistan, it seems, will and is expected to rant about Kashmir, but nobody in the world will be keen to hear that. In fact, today is today is right now Sunday evening, but today is Monday, of course, in Delhi. But on Monday, a lot of things are going to happen. The key focus will be a summit an anti-terror cooperation summit that will take place at the United Nations General Assembly. The Pakistani Prime Minister is not called, and the Indian Prime Minister will be speaking. He will be talking about the cross-border terror issue. Remember, India has been saying that there needs to be a common definition of terrorism. India had introduced a convention way back in 1996, but it's still not passed because of the lack of consensus at the United Nations General Assembly regarding the common definition of terrorism. But by and large, when it comes to the issue of terrorism, the fact that the Indian Prime Minister mentioned that the perpetrators and the conspirators of 26/11 and 9/11 came from a single country shows that a message has been sent which has been endorsed by Washington, because this is a very, very, very strong line. But this coming week will be a heavy week when it comes to diplomacy, perhaps the heaviest week of the year, with the Indian Prime Minister meeting almost 40 of his counterpart. In fact, the exact number is 45 countries. He will be having bilaterals, including the US President Donald Trump. The Donald Trump-Modi bilateral takes place on Tuesday, and we do expect substantial outcomes from that bilateral as well. And the meetings come just 48 hours after the Howdy Modi event, which has been received as a rock star event, with both the leaders coming, spending time together for almost 2 hours. And the visuals, of course, breathtaking. If we just go by the visual and not by the words, this shows the not only reaffirmation, but also the fact that India and the United States have dropped the hesitations of history and finally forging a new future together.
Absolutely. As you said rightly, that, it's the visuals that are speaking for themselves. And certainly, the bilateral between India and United States is going to be the key highlight of the entire week. But, important to speak about also the fact that, how India's agenda is way more diverse compared to a Pakistan, which has already declared their Prime Minister's trip as Mission Kashmir.
Well, rightly said, Akanksha. To quote our envoy's words, our envoy to United Nations word, some stoop low while we will soar higher.
Right.
The poison pens don't last long, and that is what has been the policy of India to work on diverse subjects and the challenges the world is facing today. In fact, the key focus India will be putting at the United Nations General Assembly is the issue of climate change. WION got the rare opportunity to go to the roof of the United Nations and, of course, take a view of the entire city, but also the Gandhi Solar Park, which India has built at the cost of $1 million. 193 solar panels have been put above the United Nations at the roof, representing the 193 countries of the United Nations. But it's a symbolism that world looks towards India when it comes to global challenges, whether it's climate change or other global challenges. In fact, it was India's idea of International Solar Alliance, which is gathering steam with each passing day. And the Indian Prime Minister is just not that he will be speaking at the United Nations General Assembly. That remains the showstopper, but he will be speaking at 9 events here in New York. He will be shortly coming here in New York in just about 30 minutes time and standing in front of the Prime Minister's hotel. So his entire schedule is focused on making sure that India is presented as a world leader, as a reliant partner, as a country which can reach out to global community on global challenges, unlike the one country which we know will be ranting on a single issue that has been passed for last 70 years, whether it's Imran Khan, Nawaz Sharif, Benazir Bhutto. The past just repeats like deja vu with Pakistan.
All right, it certainly seems like a case of sour grapes for Pakistan, and we will keep coming back to you, Siddhant, for a lot more has happened other than just the Kashmir issue and the issue of terrorism. For now, it's time to slip into a short break. Do return for more on our coverage.
Prime Minister Modi and I have come to Houston to celebrate everything that unites America and India, our shared dreams and bright futures. I've also come to express my profound gratitude to the nearly 4 million amazing Indian Americans all across our country. You enrich our culture, you uphold our values, you uplift our communities, and you are truly proud to be American, and we are proud to have you as Americans. United States and India will make our nation stronger, our people wealthier, our dreams bigger, and our future brighter than ever before, and it won't even be close. I want to especially thank a great man and a great leader, the leader of India, Prime Minister Modi, my friend.
सुनिए